Hey guys, Dr. Jason Torado here. It's Mindset Monday. So today I want to talk to you about something that holds up many chiropractors that I talk to, something that literally paralyzes chiropractors, and it has to do with overanalyzing things. You see, you don't have to be perfect all the time. You really don't. You just have to stay in the game and you got to start the game. So I find that many chiropractors that I talk to, they literally have analysis paralysis. And so today I want to get into your mind and I want to just give you an idea of how people think, and I want to talk to you about something that uh, I realize about chiropractors that is a very limiting factor. You know, we're so focused on figuring out the best approach to build our practice that sometimes we overanalyze things. We never ever get around to really taking action. So I want to tell you a little story. You know, back when I was in school, I took a photography class, and on the first day of class, my professor divided the class into two groups. They had one group on the left side. I was on the left side of the classroom, and that was actually the quantity group. That's what he called it, the quantity group. And basically, what we had to do is we were going to be graded just on the amount of photos and the amount of work that we were going to be producing. And so then on the final day of the class, we took, basically to get an A, you had to have 100 photos. To get a B, you do 90 photos. To get a C, you get, you would have taken 80 photos and so on. A D would have been, 70 photos. You get the idea, right? And so everybody on the right side of the classroom, they would be graded on the quality of their photos. And so basically they were graded on, they had to have the perfect photo, and they were graded on the excellence of their work. And what they needed to do at the end of the semester was they only needed to produce one kick-ass photo, one perfect photo to get an A. I mean, it literally had to be this perfect image, but they had the whole semester to be able to do that, right? They had the time to be able to work on that, to think about it, to process it, to focus on the technique and the exposures and the lighting. And so at the end of the term, it was really surprising that at the end of the semester, the teacher showed us, and was even the teacher was surprised that they were surprised to find out that the best photos that were taken in the class, what do you think? They were taken by what group? What do you think? You'd think the quality photo, right? But it wasn't. It was actually the best photos were taken by the quantity group. That's the group that I was in. You see, during the semester, I think what happened was during the semester, a lot of the students in the quantity group, we were busy taking photos. And so while we were busy taking photos, literally taking photos, we were experimenting, we were learning. We were learning with lighting, we were learning with composition, we were testing out different lighting methods and various methods in the dark rooms, and we were like literally learning from our mistakes. And in the process of creating all of these photos, we were focusing on our skills, we were maturing, we were getting better at taking photos. Meanwhile, the quality group, the other side of the class, well, they sat around just kind of like theorizing, thinking and planning and speculating about how you take the best photo, how do you take the perfect photo. And so in the end, what had happened was they didn't really have a lot of work to show to the teacher. And so they didn't really have a lot of work to show for their errors, other than, they're these mediocre, this average photo that they ended up taking. And so it's the same thing in chiropractic, right? What happens with chiropractors is they have this mindset where it's got to be perfect. And so what happens is they easily get bogged down every single day doing things like trying to find the perfect coach. Okay, they're trying to find the perfect marketing plan. They're trying to find the perfect piece of equipment. They're trying to find the best way to scale their practice. They're trying to figure out like what's the best way, or maybe the fastest way to get new patients, or what's the best way to grow a maintenance practice, or the best way to, to how do they perfect their practice. And what happens is chiropractors get so crazy and so focused on just trying to figure out the best approach to doing things that they never get around to taking action. It's just what happens. And so, Voltaire once wrote that perfect is the enemy of good. Really. You don't have to be great all the time. You really don't. You don't even have to feel great all the time. God knows I don't feel great all the time. I mean, sometimes I feel like crap, right? But all you really have to do to truly be successful in your business is you've got to be persistent. You got to be constant. You got to be in the game. You got to be optimistic as opposed to being pessimistic. You got to believe. I mean, you got to plant the seed, and then you got to pray, and then you got to leave the remaining growing up to God, because ultimately that's who's going to grow. That's who's going to help you grow. All you can do is plant the seeds. All you can do is be positive. All you can do is pray. That's it. And so really be sure when you're in practice to focus on your strengths and focus equally on your weaknesses. And you know what? Just God will take care of the rest. That's it. That's all you can really do. Plant the seed, do the work that you're supposed to do, and let God do the growing. And that's it. All right, guys. That's Mindset Monday. I hope you take this. I hope some of this information that I'm providing to you today is actually making sense, that you let that sink in. And if you need some help with your business, need some help with your practice, you want to sit down and talk and strategize on how you can bring your practice to the next level, and if I can help you out, give me a shout. Talk to you guys soon.